Annie stands before a large golden scale, where the jackal-headed god Anubis is weighing his heart against a pair of strict feathers. Annie was a real person, a scribe from the Egyptian of city of Sip, who lived in the 13th century BCE. And depicted here is a scene from his Book of the Dead, a 70-foot papyrus scroll designed to help him attain immortal, im, immortality, immortality, immortality. Such such funerary texts were original, originally written only for pharaohs. By the time the Egyptians came to believe regular people could also reach the afterlife, if they succeeded in the passage. Annie's epic journey begins with his death. His body is mummified by a team of priests who remove every organ except the heart, the seat of emotion, memory, and intelligence. Is the stuffed with a salt coat natron and wrapped in resin-soaked linen. In addition, the wrappings are woven with charms for protection, and and topped with a hard scarab amulet that will prove important later on. The goal of the 2 months process is to be preserve Annie's body as an ideal form, with, with which his spirit can eventually reunite. But first, the spirit must pass through the duat or one underworld. This is a realm of vast caverns, lakes of fires, and magical gates, all guarded by fearsome beasts, snakes, crocodiles, and half-human monstrosities, with names like He Who Dances in Blood. To make things worse, Apep, the serpent god of destruction, lurks in the shadows, waiting to swallow Annie's soul. Fortunately, Annis is prepared with the magic contained within his Book of the Dead. Like other Egyptians who could afford it, Annie customized his scroll to include the particular spells, prayers, and codes he thought his spirit might need. Equipped with this arsenal, our hero traverses the obstacles, repels the monster's axe, and stealthily avoids a pep to reach the hall of Mad, goddess of truth and justice. Here, Anis faces his final challenge. He is judged by 42 assessor gods, who must be convinced that he has lived a righteous live life. Annie approaches each one, addressing them by name and declaring a sin he has not committed. Among these negative confessions or declarations of inno- innocence, he proclaims that he has not made anyone cry, is not an an eavesdropper, and has not polluted the water. But did any really live such a perfect life? Not quite, but that's where the heart sacred amulet comes in. It's inscribed with the words, "Do not stand as a witness against me." Precisely, so Annie's heart doesn't betray him. By recalling the time has listened to his neighbor fight or watched his feet in the nail. Now it's Annie's moment of truth, the weighing of the heart. If his heart is heavier than the feather weighed down by Annie's wrongdoings, it, it'll be devoured by the monstrous Amit, part crocodile, part leopard, part hippopotamus, and Annie will cease to exist forever. But Annie is in luck. His heart is judged per Ra, the sun god, takes him to Osiris, god of the underworld, who gives him final approval to enter the afterlife. In the endless and lush field of reeds, Annie meets his deceased parents. Here there is no sadness, pain, or anger, but there is work to be done. Like everyone else, and he must cultivate a plot of land, which he does with the help of a Shakti doll that had been placed in his tomb. Today, the papyrus of Annie resides in the British Museum, where it has been since 1888. Only Annie, if anyone, knows that really happened after his death. But thanks to his book of death, we can imagine him happily tending his crops for all eternally, eternally, and for all eternity, eternity.